Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be. And today I'm in the Australian Antarctic territory. Well, I'm not, but my stamp focus is. So I thought I'd show you some of the stamps that I own from the Australian Antarctic territory. And this isn't one of them. This is a place where they are stuck. So when you get the stamp, you put it in that area. Can't go too wrong, though, of course, anything is possible for me. But we'll have a look at some lovely, lovely stamps. Now, Australia does own a huge quadrant of the Antarctic territory. There is no military allowed on the continent whatsoever. So, the Americans have got a base there, the British have probably got a base, the Russians have got a base, possibly the French have, I don't know. But the Australian did have a massive chunk. And of course, at one time, Australia was beholden to Britain, though it is an independent country in its own right now, though part of the Commonwealth. But yeah, you get the idea. So the Australians have always been big when it comes to the Antarctic. And a lot of the exploration attempts back in the early 1900s, the great age of exploration, started from Australia, or maybe New Zealand as well. So we'd expect them to be involved heavily. So we'll have a look at the Australian Antarctic Territory as of 1957, which is when I believe it was sort of split. It was that year that it was split up into whoever owns it at the minute. And this is a very nice stamp to start with. We have people putting a flag up, a flagpole, and we've got, you see the amount of territory there is there on the continent itself. And of course it's at the bottom of the globe. Council, which is air mail. I like to think that it's been sent from the Antarctic territory or to the Antarctic territory. It would make it more romantic, but I can't swear to it. Next, we've got three people. It's the anniversary of discovering the magnetic pole in 1909. So you've got the British flag there. But I do believe these were at least one Australian. I could be wrong. Was it Mawson? I'm not sure, but we'll come to him a little bit later maybe. And here we have like tractor, a sort of tractor. Usually it was dogs and sleds. For ski, dogs and sleds, man hauling. And Scott did land a couple of tractors. The first one went straight to the bottom of the Antarctic Ocean. It fell through the through the snow. And the other one did do work, but conked out nowhere near the South Pole itself. But that was, when was that? 1913, 1912? So now, of course, there's tractors all over this continent. Here we have the 5D again. Now, I'm not sure why I've got two there. No, hang on. No, I've been there, haven't I? I've been there with the 5D brown and the 5D blue or grey. Next, we've got this stamp, which I'm missing. We have some nice penguins here. We love a penguin. And we've got a mum penguin looking after a baby penguin and the father there. So, a family unit. 2 shillings and 3pence, so quite, a high value. Back to pennies again, 5D. And this is Mawson. He had an exploration back in 1911. Lucky to survive. Lost a couple of members. A great explorer. Originally born in Yorkshire, in England, Yorkshire, but as a child moved to Australia, and he made his name and was knighted for his services to exploration and science and discovery. Sir Douglas Mawson. Yes. Now I'm missing these, but we live in hope, don't we? There's always hope, and we will continue forward to the next. So we now fast forward to 1971. Then 1972, Captain Cook, of course, was the first to discover the Antarctic, the ice wall. So he's well thought of. Was it Cook? No. Surfing navigation on the Antarctic. Yeah, he was, I think. And that would be 1772. So that's quite nice. He, of course, lost his life in Australia. He got speared, I believe, in the Northern Territories. 1973, here we have seals eating fish and shrimp and the like. Millions of tons of shrimp are eaten every year, and it's sustainable down in the icy, desperately cold and full of life sea that surrounds Antarctica. Here we have whales again. They come up and they look at you with their eye as you're sitting on a raft floating, or if you're on an ice floe. They come up to have a look at you, huge eyes on them. Very frightening. Here we've got a seagull, or an albatross possibly, and that indicates that there's land around. Maybe. Anyway, we got stamp seb, but no stamps here, but we concentrate on the stamp seb. Beautiful, aren't they? Lovely colour here. Plankton. I think it's the plankton, which is the stuff that, mostly the seals and the whales and the penguins and other types eat. Pretty harmless. Can't fight back. Here we've got like a flying doctor type plane flying over. What year are we? 73. More seals and penguins possibly. And more planes. And another. And then we carry on here to this $1 stamp, which is plankton again. Or is it a sperm whale? It says sperm whale, but that looks a bit planktonish to me. We'll continue over. I bet you didn't know there were so many Antarctic territory stamps around. I didn't. So here's a nice boat, which looks to have hit the seawall. It's parked up there. I'm shaking on. I don't know why. Probably need me tea. Excuse me. So we got 2 cents. So what year are we? 79.81. So we've gone from pennies into the Australian dollar. Probably further back, probably before these stamps came out anyway. Australian Antarctic territories, and again another type of fishing or ice-bearing vehicle ship. They seem to be very squat and square, don't they? But still sails there. This is a Terra Nova, which is Scott's ship. Which one's this? I can't see, because the light is dreadful here in Britain. We don't get any sun. Well, we do, but it's in July and it's only for one day. Here we've got the Aurora. And here we've got the Challenger. And here we haven't got the stamp, but we have here for the Nimrod, which is, I think Nimrod was Shackleton's. His first attempt. Discovery, which I think was Scott's first. We haven't got the stamp there or there. We have this one, which is the Kirsta Dam. Here we got a stamp. Wellington, by the look of it. Nella Dan. Lastro Clara. It looks as if it's moving quite quickly. And you see the high values here. Well, they're hardly high, but you know what I mean. And Norvegia. So the Norwegian. And then we turn over, and probably the last page I've got. Lloyd, something of the something. I can't read. The 75th anniversary of the South Magnetic Pole Expedition. 1984. 75th. So, yeah, I think we can work that out, can't we? Wait, what, 75th? No, I don't know. Oh dear. Anyway, I've got both of those, and underneath we've got the 25th anniversary of the Antarctic Treaty. This is in 1986, so 25, which is 61. That's that treaty, we split it all up. And here we have two stamps, again celebrating Sir Douglas Mawson, his centenary, which suggests he was born in 1882. And in 1982 they celebrated his centenary. I don't know what's doing in the 1886 one though. I don't know. But those are very nice stamps. Here we've got him on the ice pack, or on the ice, on terra firma. And you got the clouds and you got the ice. And here you've got him with the map of the Australian Antarctic Territory behind him. Really was the father of Australian exploration in the Antarctic. Australia is full. The stamps are full of all their explorers. When you consider we've only, the West have only been in Australia for a couple of 100 years. And, when they got there, they had to, explore. So it's not even touched as it is now. There's so much to explore already. New species, and it's a continent which is designed to kill you. A bit like the Antarctic, designed to kill man. Here we've got finally moments. I'll have to look at the year and add it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't touch it. A couple of penguins, and Mother makes 3, maybe, I don't know. King penguins, those are. These are emperor penguins. They got this sort of blush there. Huge, big, fat old things. Lay eggs, sit on the eggs to keep them warm. Sit on the ice to keep their eggs warm for weeks, if not months. Wow. And these are king penguins, which are very beautiful. You can see the nice... they look like waiters, don't they? They're fantastic creatures, aren't they, and fun. And they're ever so friendly. They run up to you. They don't run away from you. Well, I say they don't run up to you, but they stand there and look at you. Which is okay when it's humans. But, of course, they used to be shot by the hundreds for food and for oil, and the dogs would attack them. I don't think dogs are allowed on the Antarctic anymore. If you know different, let me know. Of course, dogs were used to pull sleds. That now is certainly not allowed because the dogs don't agree with it. But the penguins, of course, they're a preservation creature. You can't go hunting them anymore. I'm quite right. And they are wonderful creatures, aren't they? Anyway, that is it for that. That is my Australian Antarctic Territory collection. I do have another little collection going on upstairs, but that's really an Antarctic proper collection, so across the globe. But I thought I'd show you the Australian one. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and the sun is just trying to peep out here. It's a Saturday. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Give me your thumbs up, and I'll talk to you soon when I can. Bye for now.